It's time for your daily dose of Cyberpunk 2077 news updates. We've got a brand new launch trailer, which you are seeing in the background playing right now. But hidden away in this trailer is, of course, a hidden message, which actually talks about the upcoming free content coming to Cyberpunk 2077 beginning in early 2021. DLCs and all sorts of cool stuff. We're going to break down that hidden message straight from CD Projekt RED. So yes, we're going to be talking about that. Plus, also the day one patch. There's been a lot of confusion as to what's going on with that one. CD Projekt RED clears the air about what is going to be happening with the day one patch as well. And yep, a bunch of other news and your top comment. So leave a comment down below. It could end up in a future video. Welcome back, everyone. Open World Games here. Let's do this. Let's dive straight into the news, starting with this hidden message in the launch trailer from CD Projekt RED. It goes on to say this: the wait for Cyberpunk 2077 is almost over. It's been quite the journey. And first of all, we want to thank you all for being with us along the way. We know there's a fair amount of anticipation for the game, and very soon you will be able to decide whether or not we've lived up to the hype. Furthermore, they say this: launch day is always a mix of excitement and constant nerve-wracking. And with this being the first game we've developed that isn't titled The Witcher, we'd be lying if we said we weren't anxious to see what you think once you've sunk your teeth into it. With this launch trailer, we're just about ready to flick the switch and see Cyberpunk 2077 go from ours and become yours. We set out to create our most immersive world yet, and we believe that the stories waiting for you to uncover and the relationships you'll forge during your time in Night City will stick with you for quite some time. Now, they go on to say this: we've mentioned before that expansions will be coming, and while we're not ready to talk specifics just yet, we will say that we've learned a lot from our work on both Heart of Stone and Blood and Wine, which of course was the Witcher 3 expansions. They say this: our planned expansions will take you even deeper into the world of Cyberpunk 2077, offering substantial story-driven content that'll give you tough choices to make through impactful narrative. Let me see, I'm trying to read this. It's tough to read, I'm telling you what. Narratives that you won't soon forget. I got it right the first time. But yeah, that is really cool. So they're going to continue the story, it sounds like, through these DLCs, and there's going to be free content, so that's awesome. They say this: but before we get there, we'll first be kicking off with our free DLC program in early 2021. Just like with The Witcher 3, expect an assortment of free DLC packs to begin hitting Night City, dropping a bunch of cool stuff that'll inject even more life into the world of the dark future. We hope you're looking forward to them. So yeah, free DLC coming up. I'll keep you guys in the know about what's happening with the updates and DLC related to Cyberpunk 2077 going forward. So remember, turn on notifications when you subscribe so you get the latest happenings around Cyberpunk 2077. Furthermore, they say this: we want to end this message with a request. Once you play or finish the game, we would love it if you got back to us and told us who your V was. Our forums and social media are there for you. We want to know, now that is tough to read, what you did in Night City, I guess, and what choices you made. We create a huge world for you to jump into. Tell us your story, CD Projekt RED team. Yeah, so they want your stories and how you enjoyed the game. So yeah, new free DLC coming up, and big expansions for Cyberpunk 2077 in the future. What would you like to see? I'm curious to see if we're going to be going up to that space station that is part of the Cyberpunk universe. So yeah, a lot of stuff going to be happening around Cyberpunk 2077 in the future. And then also the TV series. So you got to remember, there's also that is going to be happening. Now, let's talk about the day one patch, which will be coming up here. You know, there's been the reviews that have been coming out, a lot of perfect scores, 9s and 10s, and then some mixed reviews in there as well. But overall, the game has been scoring amazingly well, and it seems like, again, it's skewing towards this game being absolutely amazing from the reviewers. But they all do agree that it's pretty much very, very buggy in its current form, and they've been hit with that 43 gigabyte patch already. But let's take a look at what's going on with this patch that's coming up. From PC Gamer, they say this: we received a 50 gigabyte patch during our review period. Projekt RED referred to this patch as the Day Zero patch. When asked for clarification whether the patch will be what players were receiving at launch, a Projekt RED representative told us that the Day Zero patch is what people will be experiencing on launch day. It is the Day One patch, only different in name. More fixes will be rolled into the Day Zero, Day One patch, but we cannot specify exactly what. Now, however, Game Informer went on to say this. This was the question to Game Informer. Joey says, great review. Was the patch Game Informer just wrote about part of your playtime? Just wondering if maybe the bugs you hit might have gotten squished. And Andrew Rainier, who of course wrote the review for Game Informer, he gave it a 9 out of 10, says this: it was, there will be another on day one. I would be shocked if a patch fixes all of the visual issues. So that's kind of a warning right there. And yeah, you know, for me, PC Gamer, they need to really specify, in my opinion, that they received a pre-release patch and then they're going to receive an additional patch. So to me, there's still kind of two different patches, and that was actually confirmed, as you can see in just a moment, by Projekt RED. Eddie says this: there appears to be mixed info about the reviews being on the day one patch or not. Any chance of some official confirmation? I know, right? It's just so confusing. Fabian of Projekt RED finally confirms they are not. A bunch of issues reviewers encountered and reported have been fixed already. Some more are part of the update, of course referring to that day one patch which is coming up here. Furthermore, there was a response here from Ikira Sensei, who says, hey Fabian, so the update is going to help massively with the bug fixes. This was the confirmed answer from Fabian. Yes, but it won't help you if you're running the PC version with settings your PC can't handle. Game has tons of options to find a matching configuration though. So yeah, if you're pushing it beyond your PC's capabilities, you're going to run into issues no matter what, despite having the patch installed, of course. But, you know, let's keep going. Irka Sensei says this: I'm on Xbox One X. I have seen people say that after this update, it will be a different game stability-wise, and a lot of what's going on around it is a old build. Fabian confirms it is a different game with the console update. Yes. So yeah, what a lot of the reviewers are experiencing right now is basically considered an old build, and I cannot wait for that day one patch. You know, day one patches can change a game significantly. We've seen that in the past, so I'm super hyped for this, and I do hope that that is the case here. However, you guys are also very level-headed like me and know that this day one patch is probably not going to be a miracle. And this was actually the topic here that was heavily upvoted out on Reddit. It says, please don't think the day one patch will be a miracle. And a lot of you do agree with this. And that's great to know that many of you are going to be going into Cyberpunk 2077 knowing that this is probably going to be like Skyrim. Yes, tons of us love Skyrim, absolutely adore that game, but we do remember how rough of a launch it had in terms of bugs. It was still immensely enjoyable, but you know, once in a while you'll look up into the beautiful night sky and see a dragon flying backwards. I always remember that. It's a bummer, but you know, things in Cyberpunk 2077 will probably be a little bit funky at first. Now, I wanted to dive into this post here a little bit more. He says this: guys, please don't think the day one patch will be a miracle. I mean, the game could come out and be a bugless masterpiece, so who knows, but reviewers are saying pretty much the only negative is the bugs, which there seems to be a lot of. In fact, I want to be wrong, but I doubt I will be in this case. Furthermore, he says this: I see many comments saying day one patch will fix most things, and although I live optimistically, I doubt it'll fix the copious amount of bugs detailed. I'm still expecting many bugs, and playing on the Xbox One, there will be spadefuls of it, and that's fine, I guess. Yeah, and IGN even, you know, they're worried about the Xbox One and PS4 base versions. They've never seen gameplay for those, so that's going to be another, I think, another story that we'll have to look into. It says this: just don't hype yourself thinking it will be flawless. We all want it to be, but Projekt RED has been very cautious about reviewers' own footage, and that speaks volumes. I'm super hyped, and my friends honestly have wanted me to shut up about it for the past 6 months, so I'm as excited as you guys. It's just I also want to be realistic. Great attitude to have for sure. Now, there was a hilarious response to this one. I was really hoping this day one patch would fix my marriage. I found that absolutely hilarious and had to highlight that one. It was heavily upvoted as well. Now, there's also optimism on the other side of things as well. Yeah, it's going to be buggy, but also we've been hearing that the core game, which usually you can't fix, is going to be absolutely amazing. So we've heard that, and this was highlighted in this post here. It could have been so much worse. And he goes on to say the following: thank God the biggest complaint people have is about the bugs. It could have been a 6 out of 10 game where the gameplay leaves nothing to be desired, the story gets boring, and it isn't fun. Thank God we're going to get another Witcher 3 scenario where the game starts out amazing but buggy, then becomes, hopefully, one of the best games in a year thanks to bug fixes and DLCs. If you're upset about hearing that the game has bugs, just remember, it could have been so much worse. We really did get the best of a bad situation. Bugs are fixable, bad gameplay is not. Totally agree with that one for sure, and we've seen reviewers saying, yeah, this game's going to be better in 6 months and a year, so that also agrees with what he was saying there as well. And he says this: some people are confused with the intent of this post, so allow me to clear things up. I am not saying that the bugs should be ignored or excused because they can be patched. If the bugs are prominent and they ruin the experience of playing the game, then yes, CD Projekt RED should receive justified criticism for it. I'm simply stating that since it is mostly the bugs that are at issue, they can be fixed, and the final Cyberpunk 2077 product in a year's time will be similar to The Witcher 3's now, a very good game. Yeah, if the bugs are absolutely devastating and game-breaking, making your PC shut down or your console shut down and restart or something like that, that's going to be a big issue, of course. But I've heard some cases where there's been some hard lockups on PC and things like that, but a lot of the bugs, from what I understand, are visual glitches right now. And again, Fabian from CD Projekt RED saying that a lot of these issues are going to be fixed, so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. All right, so let's go on to your top comments, shall we? Let's do this. Remember, leave a comment down below. I asked you guys this question right here. Do you guys think the main story campaign is too short at around 25 to 35 hours? I think it should be fine, honestly, considering the abundance of things to do in the game overall. Sound off, and your comment might make it into the next video. And guess what? You guys gave your opinions. Let's check out the first one. Here's the first response from Okami Kira, who says, if it's anything like The Witcher, I'll end up doing one main mission and get sidetracked by the beautiful world and side quests as well as exploration. Yep, absolutely. That's how it went with The Witcher and, even Skyrim for me as well. You just get so distracted by every little side quest and story because they're going to be very interesting. That's been something that has been confirmed, that the side quests are the highlight of Cyberpunk 2077. Furthermore, Brandon says this: I was hoping for 60 hours, so yeah, that seems short, but then again, Skyrim has like a 2-hour story, but a world to get lost in. Absolutely. Once again, great example there. Furthermore, the Amazing Bacon says, if bugs didn't stop me from still religiously playing Skyrim 9 years later, a few unpatched ones won't make me hate this one either. Tons of you upvoted that one. 466 upvotes. Let me know, what was the funniest bug you ever ran into when playing Skyrim? There were many of them. For me, it was definitely the dragon going backwards. I remember looking at the dragon being like, oh my god, look at the dragon. The background was the Aurora Borealis going on. I was like, wow, this is amazing. It started doing flips and circles and going backwards. I was like, okay, whatever, dragon. You're definitely taking something. Let's see here. Endeavor Slender says this: short main story, more like they rush through the story. They do have deadlines, but still, us gamers will be the judge of that. And he's referring to how a lot of these reviewers and press outlets are being forced to rush through this main story. And I've seen posts where some of these reviewers are kind of regretting it after they review the game, saying, man, I wish I had more time with the game. And it's going to be tough judging a game. So I think a lot of people are slapping on the 9 or 10 out of 10 scores, realizing this game is amazing. So I cannot, guys, I'm with you. I cannot wait to finally get my hands on the game. It is so close. So look out for more updates and coverage about Cyberpunk 2077. Thank you for all the love and support with the videos, and look out for future ones in the very near future. But thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.